Hell yeah. Okay, so we start off where we last left off was it was nighttime. Everyone was deciding whether it was time to take a rest since nighttime's a thing and you have to nap. So uh approached Cyrus and Theo after they had their talk and said, "All right, do you guys want to rest?" And it automatically, everyone's like, "Okay, let's do this." So everyone went their ways. Theo stayed in her spot. Yuna and Cyrus went to a spot, had a talk before they went to bed. Kalia went to go look for water, sat in a puddle. And Koshka went to go approach Theo, and they had a little talk before sleepy times. During the night, Koshka, being a cat, woke up and was being tormented by mice because she couldn't find them. Anyways, and then it is daytime now. Yuna, being an early bird, she got up and she woke Cyrus for him having made her go to bed the night before or that night. Then she went to go see Kalia because for someone who claims to be human, being face down in a puddle is really not something a human could die from that. So they're talking, and Cyrus went to go wake up Theo and Koshka, but Theo was like knocked the hell out. So that is where we last left off.
Sorry, dang it, I was muted. Thank you very much for the recap. Um, were you and Kalia done with your conversation?
Yeah, I think they had just finished because Kalia removed the water from the book.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hella stealthy like.
Roll for stealth. Gladys,
Roll,
if you want, you
roll
can
for
roll for
stealth,
general
even though
perception.
you already
Oh,
did that.
she already did
Yeah.
it. She did it
Uh,
last session.
Just
Yeah.
redo the entire scene.
Yeah.
We're gonna redo it. What could have happened? What should have happened? Nah.
What should have happened?
Give me those nat ones. Give me those push-ups. Nah. Yes. No. I just want to fuck with you guys. Any opportunity of failure is my favorite opportunity.
I'll do two
Awesome.
push-ups for not two push-ups, 10 push-ups for every one, that one.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna do 10 sit-ups for every nut one.
That's
Oh.
like 100 sit-ups for Gladys.
For real.
Alone.
Dude,
Well,
the
Gladys
possibility
is
of
gonna-
that happening.
Gladys,
You're right.
Gladys is gonna become Saitama by the end of this session alone.
Let's go, Gladys, let's go.
Hell yeah, high five.
High five.
So-
high five beyond the veil.
As Cyrus went over to Theo and started trying to wake her up, he would have noticed, first of all, the gentle purring of Koshka as she lays down right up against Theo's back, but also
I'm still on fire.
that's not what. Okay, relatively close to Theo.
Wait, you were on fire going to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Very night.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
as close as Koshka's as close as she can get. Then, why didn't
Okay.
you fucking say this when
But I remember you saying, like, you said, I'm keeping my flames and keep your distance, and then you kept your distance. I don't remember you coming closer. After
That's
that.
because you probably fell asleep. We did
Yeah.
mention that we did
that's
talk
true.
about how Koshka actually curled up against you, and
Oh.
you understandingly said nothing. Like, we can't you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Do a constitution check.
who?
The Theo.
Okay.
10.
Yeah, it would still be like not super bright, but there's still kind of like flames lighting her body. It's like you know how a fire at low ember, how it's slowly dying and the wood is still red with warmth. So
Mhm.
yeah, you can't touch it. That is what you're at. You're more like glowing than you are on fire. But it's not like, oh, look at that, it's glowing. I'm gonna sit right next to it and not get hurt. It's not like a welcoming glow. It's more of a still burning glow. So Koshka, yes, you do get close, but I must say at the time when you kind of like touched her, it felt a little too uncomfortable, and so you stayed just a little bit of distance, like maybe like a foot or so. Very comfortable warmth.
Okay, that's fine. That works out for what I was describing anyway.
Okay.
So you see her forearms kind of moving back and forth, her claws extending and retracting as she's just kneading at the grass in her sleep.
Cyrus, with his hand on Fio's shoulder, he does look at Koshka and absent-mindedly watches her do this. He's kind of thinking like, is she awake? Is she asleep? Then he kind of snaps out of it, and then he, grabbing Fio by the shoulder, kind of like nudges her to wake up.
Hmm. He opened her eyes.
First thing you see is a rather tired-looking dragon.
You okay?
He nods. You you see his eyes do kind of trail off as he again looks at Koshka as he's watching her kneading the ground.
She just continues purring as she does so. She's asleep.
Yeah.
She's- I'm honestly not sure if you guys can hear me when I do the purring sound.
Yes,
Thank
no,
you.
I didn't want to say anything, so I just did it in chat.
I mean, I heard it.
Oh, okay.
It was quiet, but it was so good.
It was really.
Well, I did say it was a gentle purring.
It's perfect. You feel after like a few seconds of kind of waking up and recognizing the fact like your body's kind of waking up with you, like your internal system just turning on. You eventually suddenly hear a very soft purring, and it's like at first you have this soothing feeling of like seeing Cyrus and recalling your small group, but when you hear the purring, you realize, oh, right, we have new members on the team.
Hmm. Okay.
Damn it! I was waiting for the yay.
Yeah.
part.
Me too.
Be right back.
No problem. Yes.
I need you guys. So.
Your name will forever remind us of that video. I hope you like that.
I don't care about that. I just hate you guys.
It's
So
okay.
Proud of us.
He doesn't understand our wavelength.
Honey, I'm a particle. Y'all are waves, okay?
Oh, shut your whore mouth, you sick bastard.
I don't got no corona.
Vibe check.
Dying. That's my report.
I'm back. So, what did I miss when the bitch downstairs called me?
No, nothing. We paused.
Ah, okay.
You can continue, Theo.
I think she just sighs and says okay, and then she just slowly starts getting up.
Yes, you get up. Um, do you walk away or anything? You
She
do
just
notice. Oh, I'm
stretches.
sorry.
Yeah, she just stretches.
Okay. You do notice, like, after you kind of. I'm assuming you look around. Koshka is rather close to you, despite your specific instructions of yesterday.
Um, she's gonna just look down at her. Then she's gonna combust.
Combustion girl.
Is there. I want. No, I'm just gonna say it. Koshka, you feel really warm. You feel uncomfortably warm. You feel hot.
Like,
Like, it's really, really hot. And nothing is comfortable about this. It's the heat spiked up at an alarming rate.
her her ears twitch as she jerks up suddenly. She shakes her head and just looks around for a moment and then jumps away from the heat and lands on all six with her back arched and her tail flared up behind her. And she just looks around for what could have caused that, not yet registering it was Theo.
Yes, both Theo and Cyrus, and I'm going to say that Yuna and Kalia roll a quick perception, a casual perception.
You got it, honey. I do remember I had that.
Okay, yes, you both not only hear, but like you guys like hear this sudden like poof, as the flames just like there was a not it's like a loud and bright like your what is it called? Your peripheral notices a very bright orange color, and you guys both immediately turn your heads to see, even though you can guess who it is or what it is. It's still very surprising because it's early in the morning. So, like, if something happened, you guys just both immediately look over, and you do see Fio just light up like a firework, and Koshka immediately responding with a jump away from what might be danger as she lands on all six with her tail. Like this 8 foot tall creature just like jumps away with ease, as light as a feather, and then land on her feet and arms and hands. Her tail just flaring, her tendrils seem to be ready, and Koshka, after recognizing what's going on, you realize, like your alarms kind of quiet down as you realize, like, oh, it's Fio.
She
Cyrus just kind of taking up the flames. He seems a little comfortable.
Koshka stands up on her legs now and just she squints at Theo. You really do not like me, do you?
Oh, look at that away.
What have I done to deserve this?
I told you not to follow us. You're still here. Therefore, I told you not to get close to me. You got close. Kind of doing everything I told you not to.
I mean, in fairness, you attacked me first. So, why should I listen to you?
Oh. Why? You shouldn't complain to. If anything, if you get burned. So.
She looks over at Cyrus. Just sort of
Seems to- oh,
contemplating whether or not she should ask the question she's thinking.
Cyrus seems he looks to be a little tired, but he's there.
She contemplates for a few moments and then she just. Whatever. I will figure you out, little bird. I don't know when, but I will. As she says that, she continues squinting at Theo. Just sort of side-eyeing Theo as she squints.
Yuna and Kalia, with what just happened, you guys are kind of driven to come closer to the group, the rest of the group, as you're kind of like startled and you want to just know if everything's alright. I'm assuming this. You guys can totally correct me.
Yeah, I was just waiting for them to do the roleplay. Yeah, seeing Theo's flames go up, she's like, oh god. Because she knows that happens when Theo's angry. So-
Kalia's reaction is just looks over to you, Yuna, and she's like, I think the irritable one is irritated.
Yeah, it's so early for this though.
The irritable one is irritated, you say?
Yeah. I never
Don't.
said her English was good.
We'll go see. She's gonna walk over to them. Though, has Theo's flames died down since she started walking over?
No, they're still up, but her eyes are just still on Koska.
Okay, when she gets close enough, she like puts her arm over her forehead and eyes because it's so bright. And she gets as close as she can before it's really hot. Then she goes, Theo! Theo! Can you turn it down? Theo!
Katie cat.
Katie cat. Katie cat.
Katie cat.
I think she had mic problems.
Rip.
Oh no.
Alright, that's the end of this session. No, I'm just kidding.
Theo falls asleep again.
Did she fall asleep yesterday?
I know.
I just heard little snores.
Hello!
Hello there.
Hey, whoa.
You might blew up.
We heard. Or at least I heard.
What happened when she came over?
She like came as close as she could, putting like her arm to her forehead, like trying to like shield her eyes because it's so bright. And then she tells Theo, she goes, Theo, can you turn it down?
Yeah. And then you see she starts walking away. But the flames never go down, but she starts walking away.
That's not what I meant.
Let me do a quick roll. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, did I mess that up? Oh, I did. Oops. You guys, as she walks away, you guys see Cyrus kind of plop over and like about to fall down, but he manages to catch himself as he shakes his head and he like his eyes flutter. It looks like he's waking up again.
Cyrus? She like immediately looks over when that happened.
Uh,
You okay?
he looks around and notices that Theo is walking away, and he says, "Yeah, I think I fell asleep again."
Are you tired?
He narrows his eyes at you and kind of pouts a bit, like, "Are you really asking me this?"
She looks genuinely concerned.
I'm fine.
We don't. We can take a longer rest if you need it.
He shakes his head. No, let's get going. As he stands himself up.
All right.
You did this, ho.
You know,
happened to me?
Oh my god.
Koshka, can you go get Kalia?
Koshka looks back towards Kalia.
Kali's just standing there looking off in the distance. She has the books in her hand. She's like looking over. She's just kind of like kind of teetering back and forth, like in the motion. Like, do I go? Do I not go? Do I go? Do I walk over? Just lost in thought as you stare at her. You can just tell that she's contemplating something probably minuscule, relevant, and stupid.
Koshka tilts her head slightly, then looks down at Yuna. Are you sure that is wise? Yesterday, Watermouse seemed to be afraid of me.
Watermouth.
I mean, this is a good time for you guys to, you know, bond so she's not afraid.
At that comment, Koshka leans in, uncomfortably close to Yuna's face, with a big, shit-eating grin on her own face. Oh, but Maeda, it's so much more fun with people being afraid of me. And she takes her right hand and just sort of runs the back of her palm, or the back of her hand down Yuna's face.
I do a wisdom check.
Will do. So,
You feel a spike of something. A strong feeling of not happy.
Ines is gonna. She's gonna just move her hand up and then she's gonna lightly, like, pat on Koshka's paw. She's gonna be like, yeah, it's, no.
What's a no?
It's a no.
See, now wasn't that fun?
Not. I mean, if you find that fun, then that's you. But I just want everyone to be friends.
She glances over towards Theo. I'm not sure that one is even capable of friendship.
Oh, no, she is. She is just, it takes time. That's all.
Time ends surprise attacks, apparently.
She shrugs. But it's like I said, it's you gotta work on it with her. She's yeah. Anyway, Skill, can you get
Hot-headed.
Kalia? She never agrees nor denies.
If you insist. She shrugs as she turns and walks towards Kalia.
Kalia again is still doing the same thing. She's kind of just like looking down at the book, looking up, kind of. She doesn't really even pay you any mind as you're walking on over. Before she's like, Koshka, hi there, hi.
You see her tilt her head to the right, and the look on her face, you can tell she's contemplating something, but you're not quite sure what.
Murder.
I mean, you can insight if you want.
A slight tinge of Moira. I want to insight. Can I DM insight you?
Absolutely.
How do I do that?
You roll a flat
You-
20.
Yeah, roll a flat 20.
I like these. No!
Nope, not gonna tell you.
Fucking fucker!
I mean, you can give yourself a plus, 16 to that if you want.
She's not wrong. You are the DM. Oh, fuck.
Wait, hold on. I
What?
messed up.
What? Wait, no, hang on. That's perfect. You just nat 20'd.
Oh god.
Koshka's very hungry.
Uh-oh.
You see her just standing there in quiet contemplation as she looks at you for a few moments.
Koshka,
Uh,
tries to wave her hand in your face, trying to get your attention.
oh yes, Malishka. I am always here.
Yeah, but you're kind of just standing there in sort of thought.
Yes. I am contemplating your fate right now.
Well, I hope it's good news. She kind of just starts, she kind of shrugs into her books, holding them tighter. She kind of looks at you, looks at the rest of the group, and begins to walk past you.
As you walk past her, you see she's trying to hide it, but there is a sinister smirk on her face.
Yeah, you should really stop doing that. That's an unsettling wide smile.
Oh, but Malishka, that is the point.
Yeah.
I love it when you squirm.
I won't say I'm squirming, I just want to get away from you.
Ah, the chase is half the fun.
I would say that there's a chase going on, and I'd rather prefer that, you just not do that, because it's more in the end of being creepy and unsettling and just unnecessary, I suppose.
Well, it makes you uncomfortable, does it not?
Yes, is that the point that you're trying to make? Because if that's all, then I'm just gonna go that way. As she starts to, again, proceed after pausing for a moment to chat with you once more.
Koshka does not verbally respond. She just keeps that smirk on her face as she follows behind.
Kali just looks back at you, is like, okay, I get that you're doing this in order to be creepy, but at some point this is just gonna start turning annoying. And I'm thinking about it, and it's starting right now. It's annoying now instead of creepy. because you're just doing it on purpose to be rude.
Oh no. Not to be rude, never to be rude. But yes, on purpose for sure.
Well, I mean, like, if you're doing it intentionally to make me uncomfortable, that is rude.
Is it
You're doing
rude
something
or
that's
simply
unpleasurable and
preparation?
Okay, I get it. I get it. I know that I'm incredibly timid. I know the definition of the word, at least. And I'm not the most rambunctious person. You probably just think I'm easy pickings, I bet. That's the reason why you have your shit-eating green grin, I suppose.
Green.
I mean, I have this with everyone I consider to be Yeda.
Does that mean pray?
You see, she shrugs. Yeah, close enough.
Okay, hold on. Well, I'm more curious about this rather than terrified by you. You said you spent, I don't know, several hundred years here?
Da.
I don't know. What did you do when you came here, I guess?
Well, at first I was confused. Wasn't sure what to do. And then eventually I found a human settlement. I watched them from a distance at first. Then I approached. She gestures to herself, one of her tendrils kind of just popping up over her shoulder. I was not well received. And
Well, yeah,
eventually I started hunting them.
And how'd they fare against you? I'm assuming that they died.
She reaches down and pats the little sack on her that's tied to her hip. Well, that's how I got this little trinket.
Trinket? Just a pouch?
It is more than just a pouch.
What do you mean?
Well, if we have any use for it, then you'll find out. Until
Thanks.
then, as I'm sure you are aware, we all have our secrets.
Yeah, and I'm not good at keeping mine, I know.
Well, it is simply unfortunate that you found me. The others, either they do not care, or she gestures at Yuna.
What about the horned one? He's pointing at her.
I was reading that thing that Katie posted.
Don't read that stuff.
Kitty, are you on your computer?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Goddamn
She-
ho, check your roll 20.
She gestures at Yuna. I want to say, I think the term the humans use is airhead.
Yeah, falling on deaf ears. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean.
Not the most insightful.
I see. Well, maybe she's just a little more trustworthy than others, and I appreciate it. I mean, like, I intended to. Well, this is not what I anticipated when arriving on the mainland. she kind of just pauses in her tracks, holding the book, and you see she's looking at it, and she's just simply holding it. And it's like, this was my ticket out of there, and this is going to be my ticket to hopefully a better life. Who knows?
What kind of life are you looking for?
Something that's different than the one I previously lived in. So far, not sure if I'm enjoying it so far.
Well, that is your problem right there. Your desire is too vague. You. Well, I'm not one to speak. I'm only here for fun. But you have no direction, no goal. And yet, you desire something better for yourself.
Well, let's just say that first part of my goal has been achieved. Second part of my goal is still in progress.
And what exactly is the second part?
Figuring stuff out.
Such as? Again, you are being very vague.
Look, if I'm intending to live on mainland, I would have to learn the customs and such. And no offense to you nor the rest of them, so far that is not going well for me.
Yeah, some taken.
I don't know whether or not to be happy or glad or appreciative of who I've found so far, and I also don't know if I should just go and find something else.
Well, you are not dead yet, so be happy for that.
I wouldn't say that death really comes to mind in terms of the problem that's going to occur anytime soon, but I guess.
A problem?
Well, you know that I'm some sort of aquatic creature, disguised as human form. Who knows how? Whether or not what I am is none of your concern necessarily. I thank you for the console, I suppose you could say. I'm gonna go towards the group and do that.
And get away from Predator?
If you'd like to call yourself that. As she continues walking away.
I mean, Koshta's still following you, so.
Oh yeah, I know, I assume she's just not looking at you, nor she's just walking ahead.
If it is any consolation, I only hunt that which I consider to be fun. And you,
Well, I
while
will
it
do
is
my
fun
best.
to chase you, or correction, to tease you, you would not be a fun chase.
Well, I'll continue being my best, not being a fun chase then. If it saves me the trouble of dealing with you.
You see her look over towards Theo. Am I really as bad as the little bird?
I haven't actually had that much chance to talk to her. Mainly because she keeps doing, walking away. I'm not really entirely sure if I want to deal with somebody who entirely wants to keep walking away and not communicate in any form. So, I feel like it'd be sort of a waste of time trying to.
Ah, so what you are saying is I am annoying and she's simply running away.
Sure, we can go with that. I mean, I don't know if she's necessarily running away. She could be, but she could also just not like me in the first place and just, whatever.
She does not seem to like anyone from what I have seen. Except
The
Dragon. Ah, so you picked up on that as well.
It's not the hardest thing in the world, and I'm not entirely sure if I enjoy the dragon either.
Well,
I
Dragon
never
is
really
okay
enjoyed
with me.
dragons. They're kind of annoying.
Eh,
Yeah,
this
they've always been annoying.
this one is not so bad. He is simple. Yes, but the one dragon that I have seen here, at least he is
Yeah.
not destroying everything. Let's just put it that way.
I wouldn't say that my problem was ever them destroying things. It's more that they're just. Arguably, most of them are just gnats in the sky. But that's a whole different conundrum. Trying to read whatever's happening with Yuna.
Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding.
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm kidding. This is taking place when Koshka went to go get you, and now that you guys are coming,
We
closer-
are approaching you guys. Yes.
Yeah, she's ending it with this.
Okay. I mean, like, I guess I could have ended up with worse compatriots so far. So I guess that's an okay situation.
Tell you what. Let's make a deal.
Deal.
She
Sure, let's hear it.
she reaches over and tilts your chin up a little bit, just a little bit.
You, how are you tilting her chin?
Just
With what?
just with the tip of one of her fingers. And she's
As
being
you- as
very
you- as you
gentle
go to-
about it.
As you go to do that, you sort of feel that the tip of your finger is sort of really icy cold sensation. It's like, yeah, I would rather you not.
You see her do that thing cats do when they accidentally dip their paw in water. Ew. You are very cold. Although I should have expected that. But
Ironically, not as cold as the hot one over there.
you have a sense of humor. I like that.
I'd say it's more of just an observation.
Well, humor stems from observation most of the time anyway. But
Anyway,
back
get with
to
your
the deal. Stand tall. Chin up. Grow some confidence. And I will do my best not to be creepy around you.
I will attempt to do so.
That is all I ask. You make the attempt, and I will consider that to be holding up your end of deal.
Don't be surprised if I flinch or shy away from things.
I don't expect you to become like me, especially not overnight. But as long as I see the attempt, that is all I am concerned with.
Fine, as long as it keeps you a little bit further from my back, I guess.
She smirks a little bit. It's not that sinister one you saw earlier, more of a satisfied one. As she reaches out and she looks like she's about to pat your head, but she stops just before she is able to, and pulls her paw away. You are too cold.
Yeah, you'd probably get your hand wet out of it anyway, I too.
You see, she kind of just shudders a little bit. I would prefer not.
What, cats don't like water?
No, we don't.
Oh, I actually really did not expect that to be an actual answer. Okay.
I mean, I am hungry, and I think everything is play. But if there's one thing I am not, it is dishonest.
I'd say you're one of those kinds of people who say the truth but don't say everything.
Well, yes, but I mean, everyone withholds something. Like I said earlier, we all have our secrets.
Anyway, fine, I accept your deal, and you might as well hurry up and catch up with the rest of them.
She nods and just follows along.
I did it.
You did it?
Are you aiming like, and it's like, are you just kind of like blowing fire towards it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do something real quick.
Is it a butterfly?
No,
Yes,
she
but
set
no.
fire to the entire meadow.
The buck, as it's running away, you managed to catch its tail on fire.
A tail
and,
worth for death.
and it seems to just
I say tail of
make
fate.
it.
Yes.
It seems to make it panic more and run faster away from you. But yes,
Oh.
you do damage to the poor thing.
I'm going to. That's a strong buck. I'm gonna chase out.
It is a big boy. Can all of you guys roll perception?
No.
Sure. My perception plus 4? I can't remember. I already forgot. Yeah, that's...
Like I said, no.
Pushka? Theo, Yuna, you and you get almost a perfect visual, like a view of what is happening. You see like a bright light in the direction of where Theo had gone, and you see a very big, tall buck running towards the direction of the rest of the group. And Kalia, you're just kind of walking back to the group, and I think you notice a buck. You think you notice something. You know, you've seen big creatures before, but like for land, this is still pretty. It's a big buck.
It's a big buck considering my relative form.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
you're on land. It's a buck. It's a weird thing. It's got horns on its head.
Wait.
I immediately look towards Kosh and was like, what is that? Pointing out the buck.
She looks at it. Oh, that is Yeda. They are very good at chase. And
That's
as she says that, she immediately bursts into a sprint on all six, chasing after it.
Yep, you chase after, and the buck does notice. Cyrus was not paying attention. He's too busy falling asleep.
He's too busy He's too busy yeening.
He's yeening. He's yeening.
no offense to Cyrus, but does he ever pay attention?
No.
God.
We never know. We never know.
It's- He is his own dragon.
Hit or miss.
Honestly, yeah.
Hit or miss.
Trust me, when you need him,
Uh-huh.
trust me, when you need him, he's somewhat useful.
Somewhat.
So,
Yes, do a dex check, Koshka. Theo, are you chasing after, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do a dex check, Theo.
my dumbass, this lair is completely pointless.
Oh my gosh, Theo.
Oops.
Oops.
I mean, you can do that.
Yep.
I mean, if you really want to.
As that's going on, Yuna's gonna
There you go.
pat
Okay.
at. Sorry, I'm just gonna put this in there. She's gonna pat Cyrus. They're. She's not looking at him, but she goes, "They're hunting. If you want to join them."
Just so you guys know, Theo rolled a 24.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, so, um, shit, how am I gonna play this out? Hold on. I have something in my, I have something I want to say, but I don't know how to use my words.
Have you considered
So-
starting with the?
Okay,
I was
so-
gonna say, have you considered just word vomiting?
Okay, so okay. This buck is just aimlessly running away with his butt on fire. As it runs towards the group, it sees this giant cat creature running towards it, about to pounce. And then it's about to just immediately just like 180 run back. But as it turns around, it sees Theo coming at it from behind. So this buck is going to try to run any other direction, but as it does, it gets its legs kind of crisscross and it trips on itself. And you both manage to just kind of like, as it trips, you guys kind of see each other, and you guys like somehow not crash into each other.
I thought you were gonna make them pretzel.
I was thinking about it, but they both rolled really good. So, Koshka, you just kind of still pounce at it. Theo, you see Koshka and you kind of like summon your wings quickly enough, not big enough, but quickly enough where it just kind of flap yourself and like you flap your wings at least once to give yourself some lift. And you just kind of like, you almost kind of land on top of Koshka. Koshka, this kind of hurts you a little bit, but you have your claws, all four of your paws, claws into the buck.
I I pay no attention to Theo as I wrap my tentacles around its neck and twist.
Everybody.
Roll a strength check, or give me a second. Let me read this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay strength. Strength.
It burned her tentacles.
You pay no attention to Theo as you attempt to strangle this creature. Your tendrils kind of start to wrap, but they kind of like, before they wrap, they just kind of make their way around the neck of the creature. Theo, you land on her back, and you just kind of like, what? As is trying to catch your game, your flame's still bright and strong. And as you kind of like struggle, you burn her a bit. You try not to. You don't really realize that she's on you, but you do feel a sudden singe and pain on your back, and your tendrils just kind of shudder, and they don't even grab at the buck. They just kind of like wrap around themselves as you kind of add pressure to your own tendrils. How do I nat one that? Fuck. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna say you got hurt.
I'm gonna throw her off of it. I'm gonna try to throw her off her head.
You're gonna try to throw an 8-foot tall displacer kitten.
or grab her and kind of like
Who,
you know,
whose
like,
whose
you know,
claws
the-
are
Yeah,
stuck?
Simba.
Okay. Roll. Okay, hold on.
I
Can you describe one
You
more
know,
time?
like the lion kind of like
Yeah.
when their lions pout each other and they kind of do that roll kind of thing, like just grab her and kind of just like fall with her.
Okay,
It
is
is-
that a strength or a dexterity?
that would
I'd
be
say-
strength.
Strength.
Yeah, that or if you want, you can just be fancy and go athletics.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say and do an athletics, Theo, and Koshka, you're gonna do. Is it no? You're
I'm
gonna
like,
do.
this is essentially grapple, so it'd be strength
Yeah.
v strength.
Oh, okay. Koshka, you're gonna do it at advantage
Advantage.
because your claws are into this buck.
Yeah, man, in weight class.
Ha
Good.
ha ha!
You-
Because
what?
advantage
Ah!
totally matters.
Atra,
Fuck my life.
Atra, how did? What? Oh my god.
Hey.
How many
Yeah.
push-ups am I doing so far?
Wait, you said strength or
Something.
athletics? I don't
No,
know.
we're doing strength. It was
Oh.
They cleared it up that it's a grapple
It's
v
just
grapple.
one.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
it.
the same.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
no.
same modifier, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. A 16. Okay.
No. Take
Oh,
the
wait.
athletics because it's the same
Okay.
modifier.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I realized what you guys said after. Okay. Koshka, you're a little distracted that you accidentally kind of wrapped around your own tendrils. Your back is a little bit on fire, and all of a sudden you feel your weight completely shift. You feel your body, like, even though it's on top of this buck, it's falling off to like the right. And your claws kind of retract as you're startled. Well, no. You retract your claws. You don't know why, but you did. And you just kind of plop onto this side. I want to say Theo do a dex check so that so you can try to avoid her falling on you.
Fail that check.
Disaster.
God damn it.
Disaster.
Yeah, you managed to just kind of like kick off her back and like push yourself away and roll. You kind of roll away from Koshka falling over. Koshka, do you want to do a dex check so you can like land on your feet?
Yes.
Do a dex check.
Fuck.
20 push-ups. Let's go.
Eat shit and die.
Koshka,
That's exactly what's happening right now.
you are completely thrown off. This morning, you're
It's
thrown
not a
off.
good morning for me.
It's not. You get distracted. You think you hear the echoes of mice laughing at you. As you get distracted, you're falling over to the right, and before you know it, you fall into a puddle. Theo, you get out of this range of puddle. Like, some sprinkles of water hit you as they immediately evaporate. Koshka, you're all wet. This buck is booking it, and I'm about to. One
Okay.
more thing. And Yuna, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna let Theo talk, and then I'm gonna get to Cyrus. Okay? Go ahead, Theo.
As I thought, I was going to like have my wings kind of just flap up and like try to pounce on the.
The buck.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like fly and kind of just, hawk, grab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my target. I'm pouncing Theo now.
Dun dun dun.
Dex v Dex. Or would it be? No, yeah, Dex v. Wait.
You're
Oh,
on the ground.
I'm out.
I mean, that's a 7. Can
I'm
you-
out.
Is that another knot?
No, it's a 2.
No, it's close.
It's
It's
a
real
close.
close.
Okay.
She laughed. She laughed.
Oh god, you got it wrong.
Chat.
Give me a sec. I'm coming back in.
Oh my god. I want to say it's at a
Like,
disadvantage, but I think we're good.
Like
And
it
an
would be a
almost-
disadvantage because he's prone, but I feel like you shouldn't keep letting him.
Yeah,
roll
I'm just
those
gonna
numbers.
keep the 2. Oh my lord.
Asher's just
Atra, I'm
trying to
so
get me to do more push-ups.
sorry.
He just wants he wants a Saitama workout.
Okay,
What about 3 push-ups? 2 push-ups?
We're at 30. Well, I'm at 30 at the moment.
Gladys, you're mute.
It's for every nat 1 you roll, not every nat 1 that is rolled.
Okay.
He wants to do every nat 1 that is rolled. He's that kind of guy. Trust
Okay,
me,
so
we used
he's
to
a
do shots per
dumbass.
nat 1.
Yeah.
He used to do shots
Okay.
for every nat 1 rolled.
Okay, doing shots per nat 1, that's one thing. That only leads to potential alcohol poisoning.
Wait, I've only seen 2 nat ones though.
There
Yeah.
was an almost nat 1 again.
Well, those 2 nat ones.
Yeah,
are...
almost nat 1s don't count.
No, but you mean for you're playing a dangerous game, Atra. I don't know what you're doing, but
Yeah, describe however you want after that. Koshika's just gonna walk away and start grooming herself. She is
Yes,
not
you-
having a good morning.
as you kind of you fall into this puddle, you piece together, okay, I know what's going on, I know what happened, and you quickly kind of like your body completely shifts itself where it paws to the ground, and you wag your tail, Fio sprouting her wings and flying towards the buck, which there's a point where you two do meet. There's a small point where you guys meet, a small window of opportunity, and you calculate this. In your head, you see this Pythagorean theorem, you see the equation, you know what you're going to do. As your body kind of shifts itself again, your butt wagging itself, waiting for the opportunity. Theo, you fly by. Koshkai, your paws sink into the water as you attempt to pounce. And you know how like when dogs and cats like they try to do a pounce on a slippery floor, they like only go up like an inch. You do that. You only jump up about an inch in the air as Fio just flies over you, and you kind of just fall in water again. Another splash comes from you. After this, you just kind of like growl with your mouth under the water, and just like bubbles kind of form as you stand up, or stand up on all 6, that is, walk away, and start to groom yourself. Yuna, you do not look at the group, but you do inform Cyrus that they are hunting, and when you do this, he seems to suddenly start to wake up.
Food?
Yeah, he just kind of like a dog hearing an alarm, just an alert, just kind of like he stands up a little straighter and he looks around, finally noticing the group, and he kind of looks to you a little concerned, like he knows that you don't like this, and he kind of waits for approval.
Yuna, seeing that he's still standing there, she thinks he's probably asleep, so she looks up, and when she sees that he's looking at her, she goes, "Yeah."
You don't like it when I hunt.
I mean, not in front of me, but it's okay. I just won't look.
He nods at you. I'll make sure you won't get too bothered by this. I'll try.
No, I'll be over there. She's gonna point to like a direction. Don't worry. You can do whatever you want.
You then notice Cyrus, like, looking at the group, and then you see him have a very awkward expression where his eyes are. He looks very surprised, and it's kind of out of character for him to look this confused and surprised.
Cyrus?
He points in the direction of the buck. As that's all he says.
She looks over.
You notice Koshka try to pounce at Fio and completely miss. You see, like, you just see, like, the whole shenanigans that's taking place.
Even though she's staring now too. And then she quickly like, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
You see a bunch of Tom and Jerry shit go down.
Yeah.
That is exactly what's happening right now. It's a fucking episode of Tom and Jerry. No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Sylvester and Tweety.
Ha!
Yeah, Sylvester and Tweety. Okay, so with my 12, she just stares for like a good 10 seconds before she like goes. She just shakes her head. You should go and hunt. I can't explain that.
As he shakes his head to kind of get himself back into this hunting mood, that it's one of his favorite things to do. He like spreads his wings and kind of starts flying towards the buck. The poor scared buck is running away. I'm going to ask Theo for another dex check.
While that's going on, Yuna's gonna go to Kalia and be like, I'm gonna be moving over there. The same direction she had told Cyrus. Do you wanna come along?
Wow, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know if Anthony heard that. Anthony.
Are you muted, Anthony?
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, what's up?
Katie, what fucking hacks are you
Hi.
using?
Yuna, talk to
I'm
you.
Theo.
My...
Hmm?
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm switching back over to my computer real fast.
Okay. You guys can do your thing then.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
what's up?
I'll type it. I'll type it. You guys go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, Theo, you are flying towards this thing, and as you are about to, you had already revealed your talents. You are about to grab into this buck. The buck immediately does like a 90-degree turn, and you completely miss it.
Not 20?
Yes, it did. It really did. I was like, okay, a 23. There's no way that this guy's gonna nat 20. Okay, never mind. And Cyrus over here didn't do so good. So as he tries to fly over there, he might have accidentally run into you. And so you guys kind of like roll on the floor there as he tries to get up, and he just kind of shakes his head and grabs his face.
So he kind of just looks at Cyrus. What was that?
He looks at you and then looks away. You could swear that he might be a little bit embarrassed.
None of us are having a very good morning. It seems.
Not at all. This buck is getting fucked up despite his rolls.
This buck has like, I will survive!
This buck is gonna have stories if he survives this.
Right? Through his
No,
children.
no. This buck isn't getting fucked up. This buck is fucking us up.
I honestly didn't think that this buck was gonna survive this long, you guys.
It's you guys go ahead.
Cyrus, ignoring you completely, Theo, he spreads his wings again and flies after the buck.
I'm gonna get up and do the same. I'm gonna try to beat it to him.
Okay, another dex speed, dex speed, dex.
I can't. If Yuna wasn't bothered by your guys' hunting, she'd be like, "Why not work together?"
I'm subtly getting worse and worse and
Oh my god.
worse.
Okay, this buck is holes in its sides. It has a burned tail. This guy is like not doing so hot as finally Theo, you're kind of racing Cyrus and you're going maybe just a couple of a couple of like meters per second faster than him, and his hands kind of reach out to grab the buck, your talons reach out to grab the buck, and you just kind of like manage to just beat him by a foot as you grab your talons grab into the spine of the buck, and the buck just falls over, pulling you along with it.
Then I like flap my wings to like stay like above it, just flap it, to keep me up. As
Okay.
I just, harpy pounce.
Yeah. I want. Okay, is it athletics? I would say do an athletics check.
Hmm.
Alright, let me see what this book does. Let's see if this book can get another 20. Oh, you managed to keep yourself afloat just above the buck as it does kind of like call out in pain. Finally Cyrus is there with you as well as he grabs at the buck's neck and bites into it to attack. I'm going to see how that works. Oh my god. So you guys, that's another nat 1.
It's down!
Can we get a
That'd
tally
be
counter in like the left
advantage.
corner?
Yeah, I would. It's
Okay.
down
Okay.
and pinned.
Dirty guys.
Ah, he got it too! Guys, this buck is not supposed to be fucking alive. Come on!
How,
I'm doing the work. Kill
I
it.
feel like even Yuna could come over and stab it with his horn.
I mean, it's still a 9. It's a 9, but it's a 2.
No, baby.
Cause the number was like I was okay.
No, it's fine. I have 30 sit-ups to do.
You know what, it's fine. I'm just gonna. It's a buck. It's not a fucking enemy. It's nothing. It's just a buck. Anyways,
You all good? You all
dude, the
fucking
numbers
good?
are too fucking much. Okay, everyone's numbers is a little much today.
Yeah, I think Fio's the only one that's doing pretty good. Like, really good.
Yeah. So he bites onto the buck, biting the neck, and after some time, it stops kicking. So it's finally dead. Finally. It will no longer return to its family until that story.
God damn, I forgot to put slash me.
You're fine.
Rip.
That was a good one.
He pulls away from the buck as he kind of licks off the blood from his, like between his teeth and everything. And he looks to you, and he looks back at the group, particularly towards like Koshka and stuff. He says, "Are we going to bring it back over there, or should we just call her over?"
I mean, he felt the hunt.
He just looks at you. You don't want to share, do you?
Are these Yuna's teachings? Dude, I'm just kidding.
He trying. He trying.
I know. I'm actually really proud. I feel so proud.
You could share if you want to share it.
He walks up to you and says, "You can eat as much as you want first, and I'll have whatever's left. It was your kill anyways."
She looks back at Koska.
She is... Oh well, I'll leave that to Atra.
I'm assuming she'd be dried off by now, but she's still just grooming herself.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, we'll just bring it back. Or...
Okay. He is going to manage to pick up the buck and... well, I'm assuming you let go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good, because he would have been picking and then you would have like followed, your body would have followed the buck and you would have been hanging there. Yes, you let go of the buck as he comes over to pick it up. And he starts bringing it back towards the group. Eventually, oh, do you want to say anything?
She's just looking at Koska.
Eventually, they catch up to Koshka, and he drops the buck by her. So you hear this loud plop, Koshka.
Are you sure you're a hunter? You keep talking about praise and stuff, but it looks like kind of like wonder how did you survive all this?
She looks down at the puddle. I did not have puddles or little birdies to get in my way all the time. And she just sort of glares at you.
Not good at hunting under pressure, huh? I get it. And then
You can see she's clearly contemplating something, but she just looks away.
yeah, you see, she kind of does catch her talon around the one, just like the meat, and then she just rips off like a piece of meat with her talon. And then she's gonna like kind of just fly away with that just chunk.
That chonk.
That chunk.
That
Chunk.
chunk. She got the
Just
big
take-
chunk.
Cyrus does look to you, Koshka, waiting for you to get whatever you want.
You're welcome for the handout, he says as he flies away.
No.
Koshka just kind of gestures to him to take his pick. It was not my hunt. I do not partake of another's kill.
You see him look back to Yuna and Kalia, and he looks to you and he says, "Go ahead and get what you want. I promise that I try to..." As you can see, he's struggling with his words. Share.
And try you did. Just because I did not accept it does not mean you did not try.
He grabs one of the legs of the deer as he rips it right off and kind of tosses it to you right before you. And then he grabs the rest of the deer and kind of starts to eat away at it. He's not a clean eater. It's kind of noisy too.
She just sort of glances down at the leg. And then looks back at Cyrus. I have heard tales about your kind. Not very good at sharing, and yet here you are, insisting on doing so.
He swallows some, like, this piece of me as he wipes the blood off his face. He looks to you. I didn't really meet much other dragons. It's a little different for me.
Well, you certainly are different from all the stories I've heard, as well as the one that I saw here, and far different from the one that was spoken of back home.
I'm gonna fly over to Yuna.
You do that. Cyrus just he looks to you, not sure how to answer, so he doesn't because he's an antisocial pup. And he continues eating.
She just goes back to grooming herself.
I'm really sorry, but when you say that, I'm just thinking the fucking the recording of a cat sticking its tongue out was mlem 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 mlem.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what it is. She's grooming herself just like a cat would.
You three can actually talk if you want to.
Mhm. She just lands in front of you, like near you two, and then you can see she just has like just a piece of meat in her mouth. She's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
I'm just asking about your guys' companionship. I'm Kalia. We've never actually really introduced one another.
Um. Hey. So what are you guys talking about?
I just said we were talking about how your guys' relationship.
And
And it's good. It's really good.
I never got your name.
she looks at Yuna. He's like, "You haven't told her my name yet."
I did.
Well, I mean, from you specific. I'm sorry.
I mean, my name hasn't changed, and
Well, I'm just saying, as I stated before, that we never really introduced ourselves to one another.
I think she's trying to be formal, Theo.
I'm Theo. She
Colin-
like shakes her head like it was pointless.
Colin just puts her hand out and for a handshake that she had recently learned.
She looks at your hand and like kind of hesitant at first, and she like takes your finger and shakes it.
Colin just kind of just pauses and like kind of after the shake is done, she kind of just retracts it. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
So, what's your deal? Why you decided to come with us?
Well, I mentioned to something about unicorns, and
She takes another bite of the the meat.
and well, like I said, I mentioned something about unicorns to Yuna, and I offered my assistance, and she kind of presents the scripture or whatever that Yuna had handed her to hopefully help translate this.
And she looks at the book.
It's a very old, tattered book.
So I just thought I could help, and maybe you through this I could um get along with what I need to do.
What do you need to do?
Um, I did mention it, and before, well, not to you, obviously, but to the large um being over there, Koshka, that sort of starting a new life, kind of.
Okay. Is there a place you're headed?
No, not quite. Got here, and well, let's say that the plan is still in progress.
To start a life.
Yep, well, new one. Leaving behind the old one. That part is completed.
Well, I think that's good. You know, traveling is the best way to learn of all places, and then maybe you'll find somewhere you actually really like.
That's the goal. She kind of just brings the books back to her, and just sort of coddling them. What are you doing along with Cyrus and the and Yuna? Fia?
Oh. Well, Una said she needed help finding other unicorns, and I decided to help.
Well, that's awfully kind of you.
You know.
And so humble, too.
Hair flip. I know.
She goes, mm-hmm. She said she had spied a unicorn.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I hope to be of as much assistance as Fio. She looks over to you, and gives a little head nod.
I'm sure you will. Everyone's skills lie in different places. But I know we're gonna find it. She has like this yeah type of look.
Kalia just tilts her head happily. And how did you stumble upon Cyrus? As she kind of looks over across the meadow to the dragon in question.
Well, when I first left my home, I was told that I was going to find someone that will help me on my journey. And, it happened to be Cyrus.
She takes another piece of meat.
Venus visibly trying to keep from squirming.
Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and give. Kalia looks on over to you. Is everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Goes back to holding the books tentatively. You sure? You seem a little bit squeamish.
You can roll insight.
I will go ahead and do that.
Gladys,
my
want to
insight?
roll deception?
Sure.
My insight is a +4. Gotcha. Nat 20 it. Nat 20 it, Gladys.
5.
God damn it. Alright, Nat 1, let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
What?
6 + 4, that's 10. I don't know why I didn't want to.
You ask, are you sure? And you can see, you can hear Fio take another bite at the meat, and Yuna visibly squirm. Her body kind of like shudder as she hears the meat bitten into.
Being torn.
Yeah.
tearing it, obviously tearing it, not trying to hide it.
You see her visibly squirm, despite her saying that she's fine.
Realization dawns upon Kalia as she proceeds to stand up, and she looks around and like, I don't know. She kind of looks down to you. It's like, would you like to go maybe? What's the word? Foraging. I'm not a big fan of whatever that creature is.
You mean?
Me?
No, not you. The whatever you're eating.
Oh, I mean, I don't think there's any left. Cyrus is kind of going at it. She looked back at Cyrus.
Yeah, he's sloppy.
Well, still, regardless, Not a-
forage? What's
not in-
forage?
If I do remember, it means to look for possible foliage or flora that's
Plant life.
to consume.
Yeah.
You see Yuna immediately stand up. Yes, I want to go do that.
Then let's. We will. She kind of looks back over to you, Fio's like, if you'd like to join us, you can. But you seem to already, be.
You're
here.
welcome.
My own niceties have betrayed me. that's the feeling I have from this. Alright.
You want to, Fio? That's great. I'm really glad.
God damn it! I lost another game of solitaire. Of course, yeah.
Yuna's just happy that Fio wants to go do something with her.
That grunt from Katie makes me think those are lies.
She's
Of
gonna be like,
course they
no,
are."
I burned everything.
Oh, you found a berry bush that I completely stepped on. Oh no.
Oh, were you gonna eat these flowers? I'm so sorry.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but Yuna's genuinely happy that
Yeah.
Fio is like, yeah.
Hit me up with that. What is it called? Survival check. I need to see how many berries.
Yeah,
would-
survival
I
checks,
would-
please.
I want to see this. Oh, I'm really bad. No, well, I'm actually good.
I mean, you better be. There's freaking wisdom.
I thought it was intelligence for a second there, so.
Oh, Asher, I was just being lazy and I was doing some button pushing, and for some reason it did the roll 20 immediately. Oh wow. No offense to you, Katie, but I didn't realize that Fio was quote unquote wise.
Oh,
Nah, she
Yeah,
she got her moments when she really wants to,
I mean, I'm supposed to be a bird, bird's
Being
eye
bird.
perception,
You
Gotcha.
guys start kind of foraging about. Are you guys foraging as a group or one by one by one? Like, you guys kind of all right, divide and conquer.
Depends. The colleague is the one suggested it. Does she want us to be together or separate?
She'd probably cover more ground, so she would say separately.
Okay, they got separately.
Mhm.
As you guys go separately, Kalia does suggest the idea of when you forage, it's wiser to separate and find your own.
Yeah,
Your-
she's like, she's like, so, yeah, we probably want to separate, and considering the fact that, we're in no dangerous area, it'd be better to, spread out.
Mm.
And Fio, are you going to abide to that?
Yeah, she'll abide, and then she'll go looking around for, I guess, any types of fruits. She's not very into. She's not looking for grass or whatever leaves or anything. She's looking for fruits and
Okay.
berries.
You guys go on in your own ways. Yuna, you're a little distracted, just foraging,
New
foraging,
word.
foraging, foraging. Oh, it's such a funny word. It tickles my tongue, or kind of distracted by the word, and then you come across a bush, and you're just picking one berry. So there's obviously a plentiful amount of berries, but you're so distracted by the word foraging that you get 5% of what's really there.
I don't know why, but I feel really proud about introducing this word and causing somebody to be distracted by it.
Fio, you're just kind of tearing away, finishing up that last piece of flesh, and you're just wiping your hand on your own self as the blood smears quickly burn and crisp and kind of peel off of your skin. You start kind of just you follow Yuna, you forage on your own, but you kind of start following Yuna as she leaves each bush behind. You collect almost whatever's left that she doesn't collect. Kalia, you actually separate a little bit from the group, and you successfully find a good amount of like berries and some flowers, just a couple of things here and there. You find a good amount. I want to say like a day and a half's worth. You found half a day's worth. Theo, you found about a day and a half as well. And then finally, you three kind of come back, regroup, and you guys like share your game findings. Thank you.
Harvest.
Just despite her like her half a day stuff that she found, she's like super proudly like holding out, and she goes, foraging.
Kalia just looks at you, looks at the amount you have, and just tilts her head happily. By the way, this is I mainly just wanted to do this for you. So she kind of just presents her sort of gatherings as like, I'm not really hungry at the moment.
Discord pooped itself, so I did not hear anything for like 10 seconds.
Gotcha. Kalia being nice and cute and shit, so she's like, I'm really not that hungry, and I really mainly suggested this just for your sake.
You can see that Yuna's like wide-eyed, really taken aback, and she goes, for me?
Yeah, secretly on the underside, Kalia's just like, yeah, I still got plenty of blubber, fam.
Oh, Kali, that's so nice of you.
No, it's really nothing.
It's not nothing. I truly appreciate it.
Okay, well, Theo, you can do whatever you want with your findings.
I'm just gonna give it to Yuna. I mean, she like, you see, she tries one of the berries she found and eats it.
It's sweet.
Huh.
It also tastes more like along the lines of like a raisin as you kind of dry them up in your hands.
Raisins.
Yeah, it's like it tastes like a dried fruit. You eat it. It's sweet. A little tart. It's a good berry.
Good berry.
Man, what dramatic music for berry farming.
Shut up.
Yeah, she hands the dried fruits. She hands the dried fruits to Yuna to add to her pile.
Yeah,
If
Yuna.
you-
Sorry, just gonna say that you now have 2 days worth of fresh berries and fruits and like fauna and
Flora.
sorry, and 1.5 days worth of dried fruit.
If I was gonna say now, if you thought she was taken aback by Kalia, now it's even more. As she looks at Theo, you can see her eyes sparkle. Theo,
I feel like
why are
an
you looking
immediate
at me like that?
thank you.
What? It's not like I'm gonna eat all that. So you like to eat stuff, and they're kind of boring. You don't run or anything with this. I like the cheese.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh.
You can see now like flowers radiating around her.
Flowers radiating. That's a sentence.
Yeah, there's like imaginary flowers coming out from her.
You see the flowers just start to bloom where she stands. So.
Yeah, I actually can I roll for that to see if flowers bloom where I stand?
What the fuck
Roll
is this?
Arc-
Wild magic?
No, I
Roll
mean
Arcana.
unicorns have a natural thing. Like if there's a unicorn around, like just by them being around makes like forests just more beautiful. Like it makes nature around them more beautiful.
It's
Gladys, what
supposed-
the fuck?
Yeah, I was just gonna do it crafting stuff, but this is okay.
You want to do druid crafting?
Yeah, that will actually work. Not this.
Okay. Go for it, go for it.
Yeah. So she druid crafts. That's it. It works automatically.
Okay, just roll a 1d. Just how about this? Roll a 1d20 for me. I just want to know how extravagant it's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah, as extravagant as the DM wants.
Oh,
That's
God.
funny. Hot damn.
Theo
Theo-
being nicer.
You handed her these dried fruits as you had your own taste of one. You know, it's not really worth. It's not your kind of meal, and you kind of just give it to her, not even acknowledging anything from this, but the weird silence that followed after your generosity was a little bit awkward as you kind of look back to see why is it so quiet. You see Yuna, her eyes glowing, her horn lighting up a bit as she's just so thankful. You can see around her like flowers start to bloom. You see newfound grass growing from the ground. Like even the already there grass is growing even taller. The small flowers are becoming more extravagant. They're becoming bigger. It's unnerving.
Stop. Just, it's nothing. Just stop doing that. Just,
You see one plant grow incredibly long and a flower blooms right beside your face.
I burn it.
It burns.
Yuna is unbothered. And that's funny. She is unbothered. She just
I am
smiles.
Serenity.
Yes, she's smiling wide. She's eyes sparkling. Flowers all around her.
Stop
It's-
smiling at me, it's creepy.
She's like, it's not nothing to me. Just the generosity and hospitality you've given me. So amazing to me.
Well, are we done here? Let's just get on moving.
Meanwhile, Kali is just like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Kalia, you notice that some of these plants, like even some plants that aren't from the meadows, a vine wraps around your right leg.
She kind of just shakes it off. She's like,
Can I just say something?
Go for
what's
it.
up?
Right when Anthony was like, Kali was being like, "What the fuck is going on?" I thought of that video that Mark saw of the blind kid playing football. The song going, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh my god, the kid where it's like, I'm blind and I want to play football, and he's going the complete wrong way.
And then you get heavy metal. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? The moment you mentioned the blind kid, I'm like, yup, I've seen that.
Yeah. Anyway, after Theo said that they're done, they just keep moving. You see Yuna just nod her head and go, "Yeah, let's get going." She's still like super happy.
It's like an
Yep.
anime when like your crush talks to you. It's like, I've been noticed. Everything is good in life.
my struggles of trying to be friends with
Senpai
Theo
noticed me.
are finally going through.
Kali just kind of taps you. God fucking damn it, phone. All right, never mind.
She's gonna start.
Yeah,
Well,
do a wisdom check and
Okay.
continue
we'll do a wisdom check.
after you're done.
Okay. She is going to start heading like. Since Theo Ray said that, it's just Kalia kind of tapped on her, so I don't know if Kalia wants to say something first.
Yeah, Kali tapped on her. Is like, what? She kind of just points, just in general around. Did you do?
She goes, "Oh, I'm just so happy," and then she starts walking back towards Cyrus and Koshka, and maybe little steps there, little flowers bloom.
Yes, every footstep you can see, like you know how people leave behind footprints. Every one of her footprints leave behind a bouquet of flowers, essentially.
I just really, as a in character, I just got to. I want an arcana this.
Go for it. Also, a vine,
After
another
you
vine
do
grows
that,
up your
can
left
I
leg.
like, can I like,
Do you need to shake it off?
I'm
It's a
gonna
little
go
tighter this
for-
time.
I'm gonna go for that face slap, that face,
The-
veil. Just gonna try to lift it.
Which one?
Kalia's face
Kalia's
veil.
veil.
Oh, go for it.
I rolled an 18 on that.
Okay, give me 1 second. Um, okay, hold on. There's a lot of things going on, and let me finish up with something real quick.
You're chilling.
Okay. Okay, so Yuna first. Also roll a perception check for me. You also feel a sudden spike of anger, and
Huh?
it's like you feel like startled and angry. Startled followed by angry.
Yeah, she looks.
You know that it's Cyrus.
Mm. She gets concerned, and the flowers are no longer blooming when she walks as she hurries up towards her and towards Koshka and Cyrus if they're still like together.
Kalia, for your Arcana check, you were just kind of seeing what's going on with Yuna, right?
Yeah, I want to know what the fuck is happening. Why are there flowers? This
Okay,
is not normal.
you do an Arcana check, and you kind of get flashbanged for a second.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're blinded for a second or a couple seconds.
And then at the same time,
And at the same time, Fio is going to try to lift your face mask.
The veil.
Veil. Thank you. Words.
You're welcome.
Would I say can I make a perception?
At a
Will it be a
disadvantage.
block?
Yeah, sure, why not?
At a triple disadvantage. My revenge.
Your revenge.
Theo, did
I'm like, here, let me roll the first one. 16. You know what? I can roll a 16 again.
can
what do I
you
see?
do?
Huh?
Oh,
I don't know.
What?
It's begun.
Oh, no. I'm busy. Yeah, it's 5. Wait, what? Say it again.
okay. You do do a dex. Yeah.
That'd be what, a 16?
Oops.
Damn.
Kalia, you are a little bit blinded. You kind of like blink your eyes a few times as you look to Yuna. You do notice a very sudden surge of magic coming from her, leading to a conclusion that her emotions and magic are rather tied. Um, as you do, you kind of look back and you see a somewhat silhouette reaching towards your face. She does manage to grab the veil.
As you grab the veil, Theo, water starts wrapping around your hands, just straight up engulfing it. As you going so far up your what is it called, forearm. As this happens, what was it? Words exist. Kalia speaks out. Is that you, Theo?
I look at the water. What is it doing? Where is it coming from?
It's coming straight from the veil.
Oh, the water, like tentacles
The water,
of water coming out of the veil?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to take away any sort of volume away from the veil.
She's gonna try to grab the water with her other hand.
She like Akalia like starts to step back as you're doing this, and you can see the water retracting as it follows. The veil's still intact as she's moving away. I, can you please not do that?
What are you hiding? What is that? You
It's-
thought you were human.
It's the mask. It's not the mask. It's the veil. Can you just not? I'd rather much prefer if you didn't.
I want it.
Yeah, well, no.
No.
No, it's mine. She sorts of continues to walk back a little
No,
bit.
I want to see your face. Why are you hiding it?
Because I don't want to show it,
Well, I want to see it.
and I don't want to show it.
Okay. So,
I believe this is what you call an impasse, and I'm going to walk away now. Avoid confrontation, avoid confrontation.
Theo,
Aw.
you're curious.
Mhm.
You're overrun with curiosity.
I'm gonna let Atra go first, and then I'll go.
I'm going to then gonna try to run up and try to snatch it up. Just gonna just go for it.
She's gonna go for it. Can I make a perception check for the thing, or are you? Just
I want to
gonna-
say that you feel a bit ready.
Can I?
Would you? Yeah, just do a perception. We'll just do a perception,
Okay.
and depending on that, well, do a perception first.
I
and
roll
then
a
we'll see.
6, spam.
You, okay.
I feel like everything in your head was like, wait, no, that roll doesn't. That doesn't help anything.
Katie, you roll Dex. Check.
Yes. So Dexy.
Dexy.
I feel like it's a long time coming. She has to roll 1 at some point. So,
That point is not now.
it's gonna be at the right point, though. We all know it.
Theo is following after you, Kalia. You are a little bit irritated. You just want to kind of catch up to Yuna and the rest of the group so you guys can continue your travels. And you notice that the disembodied deer carcass, and the visual is a bit distracting when suddenly, again, there's a grab at your veil and a pull.
More aggressive though.
Yeah, she attempts to pull the veil.
You go again to pull the veil, and once again you have that feeling of the water sort of reaching up your forearm. This time it's going much further, and you can feel that water it tends to be cool, but this is now getting really really sort of icy cold, especially for your kind of species.
Yeah, when I see that, when I feel that cold, like water is already bad. When I feel that cold, that's when that heat's kind of like gonna rise. She like fight against it, as she hates the cold.
Kalia immediately turns around, your arm's still attached to the fucking veil, and she's like, "Would you stop?"
Real
And it's-
quick, both of you roll a 1d20 for me.
All right, fam.
8.
8. Oh gosh, this is intense. 12.
12. As you guys are having our conversation, the water is overwhelming your flames just a bit. Quite a bit. We'll do the same roll after the next few sentences. Go ahead.
Yeah, she sees that the water is taking, and then she's gonna get her other hand to try to like get the other side of the valve. Try to like pull. She wants to pull upward just to see your face.
As you're sort of doing this, or a little bit like, I was really trying to be nice with you, and you can start to feel water from the meadows start to wrap around your leg. Again, it's not as cold as what's on your arm at the moment, and also that your second arm that's trying to pull the veil up is also sort of getting the same treatment as as your other arm. Again, with the icy cold touch. You really aren't going to be doing anything like this.
Just let me see your face.
And I
Roll
said
again.
no.
The both of you roll again. 1d40. No, I'm just kidding. No,
1d4.
no, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Thank you.
Oh.
Feel your
Sweet.
flames setting ablaze, but they're being engulfed by the water as they now are grabbing at your feet and both your arms. The water is cold, but it seems to be warming up, but still not as warm as you're used to. Nowhere near warm as you're used to. Go ahead.
Allowing my sort of emotions to fluster up. Can I Hydro Blaster? Just away. I just want to Hydro Blaster away from you.
Theo, if you were to get hit, what would you do?
Get what? Besides
Like-
the obvious.
Like, do you want to stand your place? Do you want to attempt to dodge at a disadvantage because you're being held completely in place? Probably not even at a disadvantage. You can't really dodge.
Point blank.
She's gonna try to hold her ground. 'Cause
Okay.
She's still trying. She still wants it. Plus, she doesn't really see it coming. So, but
I'm. Correct me. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm glad I read that.
That's why I did that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I caught on to why. Um, I really am enjoying this, you guys.
I'm glad you are.
So, I'm gonna have. Okay, please correct me if I'm wrong. Collier roll to attack, and Theo roll Constitution save.
Do I
Yeah.
add my Arcana to
Yep.
that? My
Uh,
Arcana, my Intelligence to that?
what is your like? What's the
What- What is your spellcasting mod?
Spellcast. Where the fuck is it?
What class did you base your character off of?
Evocation.
Evocation is a wisdom. No,
No, it should be intelligence.
it's intelligence, yeah. So if you
Yeah,
are
plus 5 in intelligence.
for this, if you were to add a modifier, it would be your spellcasting mod, which would be intelligence.
Okay, so do I add my plus 5 or no?
Go for it.
Damn.
Kalia, as this argument escalates, her emotions obviously showing, and she's very frustrated and
Flustered.
flustered, flustered, about done with your shit. She kind of, and I'm gonna describe this, and you can totally correct me if I'm wrong. She lifts her hand kind of like towards your stomach area, despite you being ablaze. Her hand's warming up from the heat, but quickly cool down as water engulfs her hand, and it just shoots at your stomach, pushing you back. I'm guessing the rest of the water around that's holding onto her lets go of her.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd have a whole different problem.
Pun intended. Hole, get it? Hole. Anyways. Yeah, you get pushed back and you just kind of fall to the floor, Theo. Your flames kind of recovering. They're heating up your body, but like it's taking you a little bit of time. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage? Holy fuck, what do I roll?
We'll do a. Fuck. I want to say a 2d6, but I'm really scared of the results.
Theo, knocked out again.
2d6 not strong enough to.
What's your health?
It's 7. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
strong enough. Unless he crits, and then that's a different story.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, fine, fuck it.
Ugh. Ugh.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing right now.
Theo, do a wisdom. She. Wait. How? Sorry. Can you guys remind me how we're doing the health? The health. It's.
She just goes down to 0, and then she's unconscious.
That's right.
That
No
was-
negative health, right?
No
Yeah, no
negative health.
negative.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then she
Okay.
does her saving throws unless stabilized by somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, Kalia, you knocked her out. You see her unconscious. Her flames were blazing, but then they just turn off.
Collie just stands there, huffing and puffing. He's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, you notice
Me-
right away.
me-
She is not moving.
Meanwhile, allow me to go ahead and get through fast. Okay, she's mentally fine. She kind of just looks around the area and just like, Yuna.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No!
Yuna, Atra, and Cyrus are gonna do a perception check right now.
Oh. Can I do it at disadvantage? Because she's actually mad right now.
Was going. Oh shit. Well, I was gonna give you an advantage because Kalia called out your name.
Just flat
Okay,
roll, flat
this-
roll.
But just yeah, so it's a flat roll. Oh, fucking idiot.
Oh.
Less of an idiot.
My guys, my baby, my dummy bear's a dummy.
I mean, after what he went through, I'm not surprised.
Give me a quick second to read through this.
Sure.
I hope I really don't lose this game of solitaire. Shit's hard, man.
Roll a 1d2 for me, Anthony.
Roll 1d2.
Yeah,
What was it? /R 1d2.
yeah. You lost the game of solitaire.
You whore!
Koshka, you are just enjoying this moment. You don't quite notice. You do hear someone call out Yuna, but it's up to you. You kind of pay attention. You kind of don't. It's just whatever. Cyrus is distracted.
Cyrus is
He's
Cyrus is Cyrus.
Cyrus is Cyrus. He's just
Cyrus does Cyrus things.
he's looking between Yuna and Koshka, and then spaces out.
Atra,
Yuna?
real fast. Fuck you. Fuck
He
you.
lost.
Fucking damn it.
Yes.
Yuna, you are
The
getting
dice
a bit
always
flustered.
know.
You're not entirely sure why, and before any other words can be spoken, before Koshka can really respond, you just see the slyest smirk form across her face as she's looking at you when you hear, Yuna!
Oh, it's more panic than that, but yeah.
Yuna! I don't know. No,
Hey,
yes,
it's
your
alright.
attention is immediately diverted to
Yeah,
Kalia.
yeah. Even in her midst of unusual, angry feelings, she
Theo,
looks,
roll.
yeah, she looks over at Kalia. Oh, what?
I did a thing!
That's 2 fails. Oh shit.
Oh.
Isn't that 3 total?
That's two.
2.
No,
because
that's
you-
3 because she failed the
That's
first
3.
one.
Wait, she killed the
Wait,
Yeah.
when did she
one.
do the first one?
It was
As
the-
soon as it happened.
Also, that's another 10. It's push-ups, Anthony.
I know. What was that, 40?
Yeah, you're at 40.
40.
Yeah,
Oh,
that ain't bad.
Clyde has 40
When
sit-ups.
it,
Oh,
when it
yeah.
gets to 50, then I'll have problems.
yeah, then that's automatic death.
Yeah, would you like to describe what is happening?
So yeah, you see that like when she's knocked down by the like water, like this big force like weight or whatever hydro pump kind of just like blasts her. She goes flying to like the ground, like like drenched. You see the fire just snuffed out and stuff, and then Kalia like screams out Yuna. Yuna being flustered about stuff like turns to see Theo on the ground and Kalia just like trying to get you over there, but you see like looks and see Theo on the ground, and then all of a sudden you see her body starts to like seems to like sizzle before it like flares up, and then you see her skin starts to turn white, and then like and then she starts like glowing bright, like sun bright. And then yeah, there's an explosion. Just you see it's going on like, and you can feel like the heat from the like you don't really see like flames, but you see that her body, just by her body like glowing, you can feel the heat from where you are.
Are we close enough to take damage?
I think
Kalia is.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
What's the radius? So then Chiru can say whether we are near enough.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was about to ask Katie.
Yo, if I die with my 18 max
The
HP.
radius of this is fiery death radius within yeah, each creature within 60 feet must
Ooh, that's all of us.
It's pretty big, yeah.
That's everyone.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my god, it's a dexterity saving throw.
Except Cyrus, right? He's fine.
Cyrus is spacing the fuck out because he's a dummy bear.
Yeah, but he's fine because I think
He's
he's
fine.
immune.
Yeah,
Yes.
fire immunity.
Okay,
Yes,
so
he is.
dex saving throw?
Yeah, it's a dex saving throw.
You guys can use him as a shield.
I don't take any damage.
Okay, I got a +2 in my own deck, so I might be able to live through this.
I'm good. I don't take any damage.
Yeah, you're
Now, or just watch. Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. With
So what
that.
happens, Katie?
I'm going to roll it. Yeah, people. Okay, so yeah, Kalia, you pass, and Kotska passes.
I don't pass, do I?
Hold on, I'm gonna see if Tiru added anything. Like, I'm looking. Okay. Raise character page.
I want everyone to know this is 100% my fault.
Oh,
No,
I
no,
know.
no, no. It's 100% Katie's fault. She's always trying to get Theo killed.
Okay.
She
so
was
That-
just fucking rude, that's all.
That
yeah,
laughter
she
of
didn't add
confirmation.
anything, so I'm just gonna roll it. Okay. Back you. Back this. And actions extra here and roll. Public.
so I take the full of that? Um.
Well,
So
it does say fiery death.
Okay, let me read.
No.
can I
Oh,
already
no.
can I already say that Yuna's down. Your only healer's down.
You fucked up,
Well, if
boys
you-
and girls.
I kind
This is
of
what,
want to
the
say
second
that.
fucking day of the campaign.
Unless
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like Cyrus, if he realizes and catches on to what's happening, he would try to shield her.
so she takes like half of that.
Like
You gotta
her.
roll perception for him, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. He's kind of an idiot.
I
I
mean,
mean,
he got a
better
6
than nothing.
earlier.
yeah,
Alright.
it's better than letting her fall if you want.
Well, that's
But
there's a difference between that and
Okay, if you
Boom.
succeeded, you take half that though.
round it up or round it down.
But if you have a perk like Kafka, then you don't take any damage.
Alright, hold on, Gladys. Cross your fingers.
Sure, give me 1 second too. There's something I gotta check.
So Kalia would take half.
round it up or round it down.
Rounded up.
Down. Always.
Is
round
it? I thought it was always rounded up.
down. No, it's always round down.
Oh, okay.
No. What tends to end up happening is the damage towards players is rounded down, but damage with players against to an opponent tends to be rounded up. I just wanted to make sure for this case. So what is that? That's 14 damage. I'm at 4.
Way to give us warning, Theo.
Huh?
Way to give us some warnings.
I mean, come on. She was getting attacked by water coming out of a veil, and she chose to keep going at it. I think that was plenty warning enough for the players anyway.
For the characters!
You're in a meadow that slightly sort of has, water around, this is definitely safe territory.
I feel like Yuna was stuck in the middle of this. She would have noticed them if that weren't happening, and then you had to go for the one person that you shouldn't mess with, and you're just like, are you serious? And now she's
Oh,
So do you want me to roll
feel her.
perception,
Does
Gladys?
it feel that she was human? 'Cause
if
it says she was
you
human?
want to, if you want Cyrus to try and react, I
Would react. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll just. Cause he would. Oh, well.
Oh, shit!
oh damn.
Oh, shit!
Cyrus, okay, I'm gonna put like he when you guys are kind of having your conversations, like all that happened. Cyrus definitely, thankfully, noticed the down to Theo who was lighting up like a star, and recognizing that heat and flames, or the intensity, realizing the intensity of these heat and flames, he does see Koshka and Kalia kind of make their attempts of escaping, and Yuna just kind of like not successfully.
I would say, Kalia tries to raise up a sort of
A wall
shield
of-
of wall, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you do that. He notices like he's kind of like he looks back at Koshka and she's already running.
Yuna's distraught by what she sees.
Yeah, and so Cyrus just kind of uses his body to protect you. His wings wrap around you as a big explosion occurs.
How much damage do I take?
I want to say half.
You take half.
Half that damage.
That's the same as Kalia. Kalia also takes half.
So 14
That'd be
points.
14.
Oof.
What's my girl at? What's Yuna at?
She's at 11.
Hey, you're better than me. I got fucking 4 HP left, fam.
What are you talking about? I only have 32 HP. I would have been fine even if I failed that roll.
That moment when you just wish you were a waterbender from Legend of Avatar. Legend of Avatar. Wow. Good English!
Wow.
From Legend of
The Last
Avatar,
Airbender.
Korra the Last Airbender.
I mixed them up like a fucking dumbass. That's brilliant. If you want some good quotes, just listen to me.
So yeah, you just see that just it was a big superheated just explosion that's like just what could might even felt like just the heat of like lava, I guess. Just
The heat was so intense, yes.
yes, and you can see what used to be green is like just burnt. Like you see black and dirt and trees on fire and
What used to be a precious green meadow is now a blackened land at a wide circumference. Whatever trees were there, leaves eaten away by the flames. The tips of the branches, each of the branches caught on fire. Um, it is not that pretty anymore. Pretty in its own way. And in the center of all this catastrophe, there's ashes. As you guys kind of come back to Kalia, your water, the water that you had gathered, had almost completely evaporated. Most of the water's evaporated, and your sensation for whatever water is left is practically at 0%. Koshka, you kind of like poke your head from behind a rock as you look over at all this catastrophe. Yeah, you just kind of like
So
that
that is
land.
why she was so disappointed I did not kill her.
Cyrus kind of opens up his wings. Most of his clothes completely burned and tattered, and he lets you go, Yuna. You in pain from the intense heat.
Yeah, how's she looking? Does she have any burns or anything?
You're the quite a bit of your dress is very burned off. The ends of your hair is very singed. You still have a lot of your hair, but like whatever was dragging is practically gone, and your hair is kind of on fire.
Oh.
hello.
As Cyrus lets go, he does notice the fire, and he uses his tail to kind of put it out. He just kind of
Womp,
flops his
womp,
tail.
womp.
He just flops his tail onto the fire to suffocate it. You don't feel too hot. Well,
No, she
Yeah,
doesn't.
you feel too hot actually.
Yeah. You see, she's just trying to comprehend what just happened. She's hurting and she doesn't know what just.
Yeah,
You
you
can
guys
just
have
hear-
this ring in your ears, like this long, constant ring in your ears. Eventually, it quiets down.
Kalia's standing out there near the epicenter, coughing, having a large fit. You can see there's a sort of, just near her, there's a sort of shielding effect of the the little flowers still living, but they're like water. Um, Kali is sort of just holding her hands. Well, actually, no, not the hands. She's like still holding the books real close to her as she kind of timidly, shakingly, like brings them out to check on them, make sure everything's okay. She's like, she goes ahead and looks around, and do I see whatever happened in the epicenter?
You just see the blackened land, no grass. The closer it is to the center, there's just like no grass. It's just blackened dirt. And further away, more to the end of 60 feet, it's more like singed, but you just see a pile of something in the center.
I'm gonna like start walking over to it real shakily, kind of not even thinking about the rest of the group at this point. Like she's like, sort of like thinking, what have I done? What? Just a little bit.
As you pick up your limp body from the ground, a bunch of aches here and there. This is something you've not exactly have experienced before. It's very surreal. You feel hurt as you take each step. The floor still hot with from the explosion. So every step you take, it singes at the bottom of your feet.
Just go and look at the dust pile of ash in the middle.
As you get closer, again, the ground is warmer and warmer with every step that you take. And finally, as you get to the middle, there's a bunch of ash, but there's also something hidden within the ash.
She slowly sorts of walks up to it, kind of tries to get a better view, I suppose, as she looks into it.
You see something glowing in the pile of ash.
I sort of use my, oversized sleeve to like try to brush off some of the ash away. I'm trying to uncover it.
As you do brush some of the ash off and your sleeve touches whatever it is that's glowing, your sleeve catches on
Yeah,
fire.
actually no, it's not actual cloth.
It gets whatever it is, it
Yeah.
gets hot.
Yeah, it starts to like it sorts of
Evaporate?
sort of evaporating away.
Okay, so it is yeah, it starts to evaporate. So like your sleeve is touching it, it immediately boils and evaporates. A temperature that is uncomfortable for you.
I keep trying to go for it.
As you continuously go for it, it's like your sleeve is using up more water until there is no more reaching it. So your sleeve is cut a little shorter, or in a sense, cut a little shorter.
I use another sleeve. We're going, baby.
Yeah, well, you use up both your sleeves in a sense. That a small margin, a couple inches worth that is, and you finally kind of brush away all the ash from this glowing stone. It looks like, and it seems to be breathing. It brightens, and then it doesn't dim. It dims in comparison to how bright it is, but it just gets a little darker. But it seems alive as it brightens and dim and brightens.
I just want to hover my hands around it.
It is incredibly hot.
Yeah, she
The
immediately pulls it back as she looks at her hand. Setting aside. Well, uses one hand to hover around it, the other two holding it, and she looks at her hand. It's like essentially almost instantaneously a sort of burn from that.
Yeah, with that 4 health, you touch something, you're going to not make
Yeah.
it.
I'm not. That's why I'm not touching anything, fam.
No, but you were getting close with using your water sleeves there.
Yeah. I was
Um,
holding my breath. I was like,
Touch it!
Touch it. Thanks. Oh, god damn it! Lost another game.
Almost lost your life there too, fam.
I told you, the dice know all.
yeah, thank you, Cyrus.
She kind of just again catches her breath. It's warm air and throat feeling dry, skin feeling everything feeling fucking dry.
Yeah, you are not comfortable right now. Koshka,
Her clothing is sort of evaporating here and there, trying to recollect itself, kind of like what is it? Kind of just again trying to reform itself, and then just evaporates, reforms, and
yeah.
essentially the equivalent of tatters. Kalia turns around and starts to look for the fucking dragon.
You look around and you notice that he is standing out in the middle of nowhere. And you see him pull away as he reveals Yuna, who is uncomfortable and distraught.
Behind her veil, Kalia's mouth kind of drops, and she gives a heavy, deep breath, with as much force as she can muster in a sort of quiet yell. She tries to yell out Cyrus's name.
You try to yell, but get me. See if he hears. Perception. What? Yeah, idiot.
He is so distracted by Yuna right now.
Yes, he is quite distracted by Yuna and her well-being. He is like checking if she's okay, if she's injured or not. He drops his arms after checking you, Yuna, and he kind of steps back to give you some space.
So yeah, what you had described exactly is hair's singed. He managed to put out the fire that was still on it. The tatters, some burns. He knows she's injured, and she's just. Hold on, I'm gonna. What can I do to try to snap out of it?
Wisdom check?
Gotcha.
Wisdom check or save check? Right?
Yeah, I think it was just a check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, check.
She's not fighting against
I mean,
anything.
I
I don't
love
think.
it.
If you're trying to break out of an unnatural state, it'd usually be a save.
You know what? I think I am gonna go with save because this is unnatural. This hasn't happened to them before.
Okay, so that's a +2. That's a 13.
You have
Okay.
given her better score. How dare you, DM?
You get a okay with the 13. You're trying to kind of snap out of this, right?
You're welcome,
She's
Gladys.
trying. Thank you. She's trying.
It's a little difficult at first. It takes you time. You're looking around, your eyes traveling from the left slowly to the right as you're examining what this was once a beautiful blooming meadow is now a blackened land. It's everything that you saw and enjoyed, the flowers that you had created gone. And it almost brings you to tears, but then you notice the pile in the center, you notice something glowing from there, and you kind of manage to just snap out of it as Cyrus's tail puts the flip fire out. You see him finally recognizing and noticing him, and you're back.
Pio? You see it, she's like scared for what just happened, and she looks at Cyrus before she starts to like push herself, even though she's in pain, to try to get to the glowing center of what was the epicenter of the explosion.
As you start walking, Cyrus just looks around and follows after you. He looks around, but his attention is mostly on you. Despite him looking around, he's just mainly paying attention to you.
Yeah, Yuna's she's obviously hurt, but she's still trying to get to where Fio once laid. And yeah, when she gets there, what does she see?
Okay.
I'd just like to say Koshka's following behind them at this point, but quietly.
Yeah. Yeah, Koshka, do a wisdom check for me, Koshka.
Ah, yes, more rolls that I can potentially fail.
Watch this be the thing you've 20. Never mind.
Nice.
I would have been so disappointed if I not 20'd that. Because that is literally my worst stat, too.
I know, that's why I wanted you to nat 20. That's exactly what I wanted you to nat 20. To burn it. Essentially burn your nat 20.
I'm like, he's been burning ones.
Yes, he has. Koshka, when you emerge from behind the rock, at first it was kind of whatever, but as you keep taking a step following after them, this is quite the scenery. It almost reminds you, the way it looks, it almost reminds you of home, but less fire and more mess. It's still quite a sight. After 500 years of being on the human realm, you're just it's a lot. I'm trying to think of because
She's not doing a very good job of it, but she's not doing a bad job of it. But she's trying to hide a smile at the moment.
your lips are quivering as they're struggling to hide a smile as you're looking around. You do follow, but you just kind of like walking after them and turn around, walking backwards, still after them, and just taking in everything. As you guys finally catch up to Theo's pile of ashes, Yuna, Cyrus both notice a glowing, what looks like a glowing stone in the center.
Just so you know, Kalia's right there, just
Yes.
standing.
Yes, you're all standing there.
You can. Kalia just looks at the two of you, Cyrus and Yuna, and just like, I. Oh, it's too hot to carry.
Cyrus is like, my time to shine.
It's only time to shine.
His only time to shine.
What do you mean? He saved Yuna.
He's a dummy bear. He's only good for muscles
What do
And-
you mean?
and fire resistance.
Yeah, we are literally using him for his fire resistance. That's it.
I mean,
okay.
he's good for getting flustered when being groomed.
He was angry. He walks up to the piles of ash as he looks to Kalia. Where's Theo?
She just stares at the pile of ashes.
Hello.
She was right there. Cough, 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 cough.
I missed like 10 seconds of all of that.
You didn't miss too much.
Okay.
It was just them talking. Cyrus then walks up to the ashes and he kind of like his claws digging into the ashes and tossing it back. And then he realized like that the stone is actually more of a shape of an egg, and it's a rather. How big do you want your egg, Katie?
Just like an
Is it that moment when you find the perfect avocado? Oh, come on.
I
it's
just
like the size of a, I guess, ostrich egg. I guess.
An ostrich egg? Okay, you're fine. You got it. You got it.
I just imagine you, Chiru, in the kitchen, saying,
Hello?
"How big do you want your egg?"
Oh no, she left.
No, she couldn't hear.
No,
us.
yeah, I know why. I know why she left.
I mean, that's a better reason for leaving than getting yet another nat one.
These nut ones are funny. Cyrus finally. You're dumb, Anthony.
That's what I was talking about.
That's how big the egg
There
is.
we
I
go.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a little bigger than that.
About the size of her head.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
Cyrus is a big guy, so it's gonna look like
It'll
that.
be that fat,
Oh,
yeah. he's almost 7
I
feet,
mean,
so.
it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter the size because the phoenix grows pretty
Oh,
fast.
Katie, the size always matters.
So.
Anyway.
Damn right it does.
No, I'm aware, but you're still gonna be an egg for quite a few. What was
How
it?
many-
Hours?
How
Do you
many
say hours or days?
Well, I don't know if you changed it. On the sheet it says days. but-
Days? Okay, alright. Yeah, that's fine. I couldn't remember what I had put on the sheet. Yeah, he digs through the ashes as he finally, you guys, an egg is revealed to you guys. It's a rather large sized egg. And he, without flinching, without much of a reaction. He picks up the egg for, no reaction for obvious reasons. And he looks to Kalia and Yuna, and mainly Kalia, and he just can't help but to ask, "What did you do?"
Oof, heavy shit. Okay.
Is this coming from Cyrus? Definitely heavy.
Koshka looks at that smile she's been trying to hide. Actually, appears bigger now. It
Fucking
seems.
Cheshire.
Yes. It seems she is making good on our deal. Standing up for herself.
Don't call it that. She tried to keep lifting my veil, and I kept telling her to stop.
And you reacted and stopped her. I'd say that's
I
pretty standing up.
overreacted.
Oh, please. It was not even 2 hours after meeting me, she attacked me. I think you were quite justified.
I thought things were so well. Now what? She just starts walking away. Just real slowly. Sort of. Not like the slightest, smallest limp as she's walking away and holding onto the book. I don't.
1 second for me. Sorry.
Oh, chill. Hey, what class is Cyrus?
Oops. 1 second. I messed up. Fuck.
I don't think that's a class in D&D.
You're a class.
It's
A class clown.
It's totally a class. It's called Bard.
Haha. Haha. Nice. Good one.
Actually, I was most talkative.
That was a
not
really
class
good one.
clown, unfortunately.
Kalia, wait up.
She just starts to stomps and turns around to look at you, you know. I didn't want this to happen. You cat!
I have under fighter.
Hi, Hysteria. Do you want pets?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Watermouse?
Sorry, what was that?
You shouted, "You cat," and Koshka goes, "Yes, Watermouse."
Oh, talking to this little cutie right here that I'm gonna throw over my shoulder like a certain streamer, but she's gonna be fine because they're cats.
Yuna's gonna slowly come up to Kalia, and she's going to place her hand on her shoulders. You're hurt right now.
What about Theo? She looks again. Oh my god, you licked my nose, you fucking asshole. She looks back over to Cyrus and with an egg. What about Theo?
Give me a second.
Everybody's getting a second.
Kind of like, what do I roll to keep composed?
That'd be
Wisdom check.
wisdom.
Okay. Okay.
Well, actually, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Kalia, when you ask that, you see that a single tear just falls from her eye, and she goes, "Let me just take care of you first, okay?"
She kind of just slumps down a little bit with the books in her hand. She just nods her head.
And
You can see her hair do that classic bob, you know, just like yeah.
she's going to do one of her healing touches on Kalia.
Sorry, I was switching headsets because I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna make some rice.
That's fine. Oh, she says she trying to heal you up, Kalia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, her you see she's emotional right now. She's hurting both like physically and mentally. Emotionally, and she's only able to heal you 7 HP.
My 7. Bro, that's almost half my HP right there.
Only 7. That's half my HP.
You see that her horn glows bright, but then it dims out, then brights and dims before you feel yourself slightly healed up to your half, I guess now.
That's
I'm
that's
not sure
only
that's
that's only a quarter, a little over a quarter of my HP.
Wait, what class are you, Atruth?
I based it off of monk.
Oh, okay. Wizard life, yo.
Hey, I got a wizard with, I think, just as much, if not more HP than Koshka.
What level?
We're level 4, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I might have not done my rolls like a dumbass. Alright, I'll do that later.
Alright. As she's seeing that it's only like a half thing, she's gonna let's see, DM, will you let me?
What's
She's
up?
gonna try to oh sorry, what? Oh
What's
what's
up?
up? She's gonna try to exert herself and do another heal.
You're gonna exert yourself?
Like do another heal after this heal on her, like not stopping.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
But you gotta eat a rat first. Just kidding. No.
Damn. Oh,
God
she
damn.
She
What
sees
the
that,
fuck?
She sees that she's failing, so she just takes a deep breath and she's just like she needs to fucking snap out of
Yuna,
it.
do
Yeah.
me one more before you roll me the wisdom check. Thank you.
Gotcha, wisdom. 19.
You managed to compose yourself as after that first heal you, you were struggling with yourself and you're just thinking to yourself, come on, you can do this. As you recall a fond memory, the most recent of fond memories is honestly the moment you had when Theo gave you that dried fruit. As you heal her, Kalia, you notice that the ground around you seems to be recovering. About a 5 foot um parameter around you, as at the further out the grass seems to barely
Radius?
grow. Radius. Why did I say parameter? Thank you. I could not remember that fucking term. Anyways, the 5 foot radius at the outer part of the radius, you see the grass barely growing, but the closer to the center, particularly you, grass begins to grow again, and you feel those vines crawling up your leg again.
She pays it no mind. She can't really deal with that right now.
Yeah, you do feel miraculously better as you are now back to full health.
Da, 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 da. Thank you, Yuna, but what's going on with Theo?
Alright. So what was my wisdom for?
So that you can recover and feel better.
Okay, thanks.
You compose yourself more.
Alright. She's going to let go of Kalia's shoulders now, and she's slowly just gonna wipe at her face. And she's gonna say, she said she'll be back. She'll be back. Then she's going to look over to Koshka and Cyrus. She's gonna say, are you guys hurt?
1 second. I'll
Sure.
just say it. Koshka, He looks to you as he can't help but to smirk a little bit from what you said. As he turns to you, you immediately feel the radiating heat coming from the egg. It's rather unbearable.
Koshka feels that?
Yeah, Koshka feels that.
So that smirk was. So he did that intentionally, trying to get her to back off?
No, he was just smirking at your comment. He doesn't
Oh,
really
okay.
realize how hot it is. He's just kind of holding it as you guys are like, ah! He's not doing it to like attack you. He doesn't realize like you guys.
Yeah.
This isn't uncomfortable. Yeah.
Koshka looks down at him. Well, I do like the warmth. She kind of gestures at the others. They may not appreciate it as much as I do. And currently, even for me, that is a bit much.
As you say that, he looks to you, the egg, and then back to you. As he takes just one step back. Better.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts. She looks over at Yuna. To answer your question, Yeda, I'm not hurt at all. And I doubt this one is.
Yeah, you notice Cyrus is just holding the egg nonchalantly. He's just kind of like... He's holding the goddamn egg.
Ain't gonna lie, I just think it'd be really funny if like Cyrus was just holding onto the egg, but he has his hair and it's on fucking fire, and he's like, "Yup."
Oh no, he's
Life.
immune. He's immune as
No,
well.
no, I know that, but I'm just
No,
like, think the
He's
image is
he's
funny.
immune, but his hair still catches on fire.
His clothes are not looking great though.
Yeah, Yuna still asks though, cause she's a baby.
Where's Piccolo when you need him? Close beam!
I know, right?
You have Yuna for that.
Oh, okay.
Well, kind of. She's gonna be fixing that up later. Anyway, she's gonna get ahead of myself. She heard Koshka, but then she looks at Cyrus.
She looks at Cyrus.
Yeah, for him to answer.
He just kind of looks at you, and he seems okay, despite his clothes, and he has some like blackened marks on his body, but he doesn't look to be at all like writhing in pain or anything.
Phased.
He's not phased.
She's just gonna nod her head. Just give me 1 second. She says, give me a moment. And you can see that she claps her hands together, putting them over her chest, and then she's going to heal herself. Let me do my roll. Okay, these are 13. Oh, that's exactly full health. Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, again, her horn glows, and you see her burns just automatically disappear from her. Chiru, her hair, it's gonna stay how much has been singed off? Or is there any recovery?
Let me think.
Yeah.
Roll a 1d2.
Okay. 1.
It regrows
Oh, yay.
a little bit, but not to its fullest extent.
Okay. Burn marks are gone. Whatever was singed off from the bottom has regrown just a bit. It's all sparkly again. She looks completely healthy again. Except for her clothes.
And her emotions.
And her emotions.
But what are emotions good for?
You'd be surprised. And once...
You know what? I wasn't gonna respond, but you know what? You're right. I would be surprised.
as soon as she like her she looks all better, um she's going to take a deep breath, and then she's gonna lower her hands again before looking around at everyone. I need to take some time, if that's okay.
How close are you to Cyrus?
She's 5 feet.
You're getting uncomfortably hot, despite feeling much better after the heals.
Okay. She's going to slowly take a step away from Cyrus.
Koshka had opened her mouth to say something, but you can see on her face that her better judgment got the better of her.
Good.
Ina's gonna look at. Well, she's just looking at everyone to see if they're okay with. Well, she's gonna add on and say, I can't move on like this right now. I need some time, and she's gonna look like at Cyrus and her, and she's like, the clothes. I need to fix clothes.
Are you saying that? Oh, go ahead.
Could you repeat that? That was very quiet.
Yeah, she's speaking very quietly because he.
No, like, yeah, I get that. That's why I asked you to repeat that, not her.
She said, I need to take time. I can't. I can't continue on traveling like this. And then she said, I need to. She's looking like at Cyrus and herself. She goes. She needs to mend their clothes.
Ah, okay.
So she's looking for affirmatives from Kalia, Koshka, and Cyrus if they're okay with them staying, like not moving or traveling, basically, right now.
I'll just tell you right now that the ground that you're standing on is a bit warm. As well. A lot of this stuff got pretty goddamn scorched.
Kalia just seems to nod her head at you, Yuna. Mainly because I'm washing dishes and can't really pee without the sound of water running.
Okay. She says, but we can find a spot to stay at that's not here.
Cyrus just... He just agrees with you.
Koshka just looks around at everyone. What is wrong with this spot? It is nice and warm, and you can regrow flowers.
I'm not feeling at my 100% right now.
You see her... You see her looking at you. It's an expression that you haven't seen on her face as she, before, as she thinks about how to respond. And then she just sort of shrugs and steps up to you and picks you up, cradling you in her arms.
What?
Yeah, this is new to you.
I'm sorry. I Discord pooped and I did not hear the last 10 seconds.
She picked you up and cradles you.
And then she just says, points your way to wherever makes you comfortable.
Yeah, she's confused. And she's like, she's going to slowly nod and then look around to see if there's a all she sees is black, and she goes, I guess anywhere that's green.
Do I see anywhere that's green? I do not. But hey, at least it wasn't a natural one.
Holy moly, dude, what the heck?
Hold on.
Hey, Atra, go ahead and roll me a 1d20 out of 4 modifier to it, please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Oh, wait. I have your character sheet. I don't know why I have it, but, no, apparently
Well, I
I
guess
don't.
you just have access to it.
1d20 plus 4. 17.
Do I see anything that's green?
Yeah.
You
decided
and
no. Sorry, go ahead.
you and Yuna look out, and you can see you guys are practically at the center of this 60-foot radius. You're like at this 120 diameter. Um, so quite a bit of a distance away. You see that it looks, in a sense, better. So essentially, you do add like the quite a bit further.
Well, I mean, like, if we just head further down the meadow, we can find something. I really need some water.
You see what the Kalia says that Yuna nods her head a little bit as you're holding her princess style. I'm guessing because you're cradling her.
Yeah, sort of. Except with 4 arms instead of 2.
All right.
As she just starts walking, you feel one of the 4 arms drop out from under you as she just sort of gestures to Cyrus to follow along.
And he does.
Kalia just stays quiet during this entire walk, just trying to keep away from everybody.
And that's where I will be ending the session.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Oh, I did a whoopsie.
What you do?
And